Hello and welcome to all my dear students. So today we are going to do the lecture number 3 of the chapter Organism and Population. So far you have understood the concept of organism and how the organisms are affected with their abiotic surrounding. Today we are going to start with the second half of the chapter where you're going to study about population. So first we are going to define the term population itself. How will you define population? But beta, population represents group of individuals capable of interbreeding, producing a fertile offspring, occupying a specific area at a given time. The study of population is known as demography. So now let's write these 2 points. So first of all, what is population? The group of organism capable of interbreeding. The group of organism capable of interbreeding and producing fertile offspring. ये इतना हटा दो, just simply group of organisms capable of interbreeding, occupying a specific area at a given time. At a given time is known as population. Study of population is known as demography. Correct? Now here first we are going to discuss some population attributes. Then we will discuss about the concept of population density and population growth. So today we are going to talk about 3 terminologies of population. First, starting with population attributes. If I have to talk about the population attributes, beta, this includes like birth rate. If organism is going to have a birth, then population is going to have birth rate. If individual is going to die, then population is going to have a death rate. If individual will be either male or female, then population will have sex ratio. So these are the certain attributes related to population. So now here we are going to prepare a chart related to population and individual, that is organism. Right? So now population is going to either have a birth rate, but individual will take a birth. Population will have death rate. However, individual will die. Population will have sex ratio, but individual will be either male or female. Individual will have age, but population will have age pyramid. So age and age pyramid. So one by one we are going to discuss about all these attributes of population. First, starting with birth rate, also called as natality. Birth rate, also known as natality. Birth rate means the number of birth taking in a given population. So you can simply say increase in the number of individual in a given population due to birth over a specific period of time. So what is birth rate? Number of individual increasing in the population. Number of individual increasing in the population over a specific period of time. Population may be per year. Correct? So the formula of birth rate will be percentage of increase upon original number of people in a given area into time. Time is usually 1 year. Now suppose initially there are 10 people living in a home. Now over a span of year, 3 births took place. So total population has become 13, but the birth rate will be final minus initial. So final is 13 minus initial is 10. So 3 upon initial, which is 10, over a period of time which is 1 year. So birth rate in that case will become 0.3. Similarly is the death rate, that is also called as mortality. So if beta birth rate means increasing the total number of people in the population, so death rate will be decreasing the number of people from the population over a given period of time. So this is simply decrease in the population over a specific period of time. Decrease in the population over a given period of time. The formula will remain the same as birth rate. The same formula you are going to use for death rate also. Simply here the value will change. Here you have written increase, but this time for death rate you are going to write decrease in the population upon initial population into time. Correct? So now if suppose there are 10 people living in a home, 2 people died over a year. So that means 2 upon 10 into 1, that is again 0.2 will become the death rate or mortality of that house. Have you understood the two attributes of population? Next is sex ratio. Suppose in my home there are 4 males and 5 females. So sex ratio will become 5 by 4, number of females upon number of males. But individual will be either male or female. So third attribute is sex ratio, which is simply total number of female in a population to that of total number of male in a population. Clear? Next and very important is age pyramid. This is the last and the fourth final attribute of the population. See, individual will have an age. I may be 20 year, you may be 16-year-old. So individual is having an age. But if I talk in terms of population, then population will have age pyramid, having 3 types of population. Individual who are child, that means they are still in their pre-reproductive stage. Individuals who have become mature and now they are capable of reproducing are considered as reproductive people, that is the reproductive bar. And finally, the old people who have passed their reproductive phase and have now become the part of post-reproductive phase. So pre-reproductive means children. Reproductive means adult people who can reproduce and can increase the population. And post-reproductive includes old people who are towards their senescence and they are no more capable of reproducing. Depending upon these 3 different age groups, we can make 3 types of age pyramid. So depending upon these 3 different age group, right? Individual may be a child, adult or old age, but age pyramid will have all the 3 cases and producing 3 types of age pyramid, either declining, stable or increasing. So one by one we are going to discuss about all the 3 types of population on the basis of their age pyramid. First we are going to see about the increasing population. Increasing, the shape will be upright. It will be triangular shape. The age pyramid over here will be upright. Why? Because the lowermost bar is for pre-reproductive individual, the middle bar is for reproductive individual, and the upper bar is for post-reproductive individual. When in a given population, number of children are maximum, then number of adult and least are the number of old people. So that means number of people dying will be lesser as compared to number of people added in the population. Therefore, this kind of population is going to increase. Second is stable. Stable is going to be bell-shaped, where pre-reproductive number and reproductive number will be almost same. Right? But post-reproductive will be slightly lesser. That means the number of people added and the number of people subtracted will be equal. So that is going to produce a stable population, neither increasing nor decreasing. The age pyramid shape will become bell shape. The third and the final condition is declining population, where the number of the people will decline. It will be kind of urn-shaped, where the number of pre-reproductive is lesser, reproductive people are maximum, and post-reproductive is also lesser. That means the number of individuals pre-reproductive is less as compared to reproductive. तो लोग बूढ़े जल्दी होंगे, they are going to die more instead of giving birth. So this is kind of urn-shaped age pyramid, where the population is going to simply decline. These are the three different types of age pyramid which is going to be asked by you from in your NEET examination. If you have understood this, absolutely great. This is about the population attribute. Now next is population growth. Okay, let's add a page first. Now, beta, what do you mean by population growth? See, population of any area is not a fixed parameter. It is not a fixed parameter. Yes or no? Because no matter how many death and birth are taking place, people are migrating from one area to another. So population is not a fixed parameter. It can increase, it can decrease. So population is always fluctuating. So population is not a fixed parameter. It fluctuates. It keeps on fluctuating. It keeps on changing. It keeps on fluctuating. So population growth basically depends upon beta 4 factors. 2 you already know, that is birth rate. Automatically, if number of birth are taking place, population is going to grow. Next is death rate. Automatically, if the people are dying, the rate of the population is going to decline. Another 2 factors on which population growth depends are beta immigration and emigration. Now, what is this immigration and emigration? Suppose this is a population represented by symbol N. Population density is represented by symbol N. Suppose birth is taking place. So birth is going to increase the population. If death is taking place, it is going to decrease the population. इमिग्रेशन का मतलब होता है कहीं दूसरी जगह से छोड़ के किसी नई पॉपुलेशन में एड ऑन होना. That means, for example, you were living, for example, in X society. Now you decided to leave that X society and move to Y society. What will happen? When you will move from X to Y society, the number of people living in X will decrease. That means you have emigrated from there. But you have entered in Y society, so now the population of Y will increase. So where you go is immigration, from where you come, it is called as emigration. So immigration increases the population, emigration decreases the population. So immigration is going to increase, emigration is going to decrease the population. So these are the 4 factors on which population growth depends. What are those 2 factors? Birth rate, it is going to increase the population. Death rate will decrease. IMI means increase, ME means decrease. IMI means to come in a population, ME means to move out of the population. Clear? Now, on this basis, there is one formula derived which can be anytime asked to you in NEET examination or in any of the question to calculate the net change in the population density depending upon these 4 factors. So, net change in the population density is equivalent to population density in time, in specific time, plus birth rate plus immigration minus the sum of death rate and emigration. This is the simple formula which you have to remember to calculate the change in the population density of a given area at a specific time. Understood? Yes or no? Will you be able to do this? Let's try to solve one question on this formula. Now I'm going to give you some parameters, and on those parameters you're going to using those parameters you will apply the formula and you will calculate the answer. So first is, suppose the given population at time t is maybe 1000. Now you have to calculate population at time t plus 1 if the number of birth rate over a year has been 50, immigrants have been 100, number of death rate have been 20, and number of emigrants have been 200. So now you have to calculate whether the population is going to increase of this area or decrease over a given period of time. So formula is NT plus 1 is equal to NT plus birth plus death kitna hua? This is 150. So 150 minus 20 plus 200, 220. Right? So NT is 1000 plus, if you open this 150 minus 220, minus is greater. So minus sign, minus 70. So that means 1000 minus 70 is 930. So here, according to the parameter, the population of the area has decreased over a specific period of time. The population has decreased. Have you all understood this simple concept where you have seen how population growth depends upon 4 factors, that is emigration, immigration, birth rate and death rate. Okay, very good. Now next and very important topic is population density. Population density means number of individuals occupying an area in a given specific time, and this population density is basically represented by symbol N. Population density is number of people, total number of people occupying a given area. Correct? Now this population density, if you want to calculate the density of a population of a given area, the best way is to count the number of people. देखो, जब भी किसी भी कंट्री की पॉपुलेशन डेंसिटी कैलकुलेट करनी होती है, the best way is counting the total number of heads in a given area, and then like this you can do the census. Counting means doing the census, correct? But somewhere this counting is not reliable method to calculate the population density. For example, in an area where there is one big banyan tree under which some 200 parthenium are growing and which is a host to number of birds. Now, if you check the population density, then that one banyan tree and 200 parthenium, whose population density will be more if I'm relying on the number method? automatically Parthenium. However, if you check about the contribution of that organism to the ecosystem, then 200 Parthenium have no significant contribution. But that one banyan tree is a keystone species. It is playing a great important role over there. So in that case, number is not a reliable method to calculate the population density. The reliable method in that case will become the contribution of the specific species to the environment. Clear? So now write the best method in order to calculate N. The best method to calculate N is counting the number of heads. But sometimes, however, sometimes it is not a reliable method. However, beta, sometimes it is not a reliable method. So, for example, where there is one banyan tree and under this 200 small Parthenium are growing. So, these 200 Parthenium and this one huge banyan tree. Now, whose contribution in the environment is more? Automatically this one banyan tree. That means the population density here, number is not a reliable method. Agar number pe manoge, to 200 Parthenium will be considered as more dense. But actually, the denser species is banyan but not Parthenium. And in this case, over here, number is not a reliable method. It is depending upon the biomass production. It is depending upon their contribution to the ecosystem. So here, even one banyan tree has huge contribution in the ecosystem. Has a huge contribution in ecosystem in terms of biomass cover. In terms of biomass cover. So in this case, number is not a reliable method. Instead, you will go for the biomass cover. So biomass cover is also one of the method to calculate population density after counting method. Now, next is beta relative density. One other method to count the population density apart from biomass and number is relative density. This you can consider a case of a pond in which different types of fishes are there. But you want to calculate the total number of fishes living in the pond with golden color. Now you cannot take out each and every fish from the pond and just simply count. So counting is not going to be a reliable method. What you will do, you will throw the net. And you will, when you will pull the net out, suppose out of 10 fishes caught, 2 are golden. So here 2 upon 10 into 100 will give you the relative density. Relative means the density of your fish to that of the total fishes found in the pond. Clear? So relative density means, for example, number of fishes caught per trap. So this is also one of the method of counting the number of individual. But when you cannot take out all the organisms and simply count, biomass cover is also not reliable. So in that case, this relative density will help you. In case of tiger and if you want to calculate the number of tiger and lions in the jungle, you cannot run after every tiger and count their number. If you'll do this, tiger will eat you and everything will go useless. So what will you do? You will simply calculate their pug marks. Calculate their pug marks or fecal matter to detect that What is the total number of lions or tigers living in the jungle? So in order to calculate the total number of lions or tiger in the jungle, so to calculate the total number of lions or tiger in the jungle, the method is to calculate their pug marks or collect their fecal matter for the same purpose. So these are the different methods of calculating the population density. Now, today we have done 3 topics under population, that is attribute, population growth, and population density. The next important parameter for population is population growth curves. 2 population growth curve are there in your syllabus. One is logistic growth curve, which is seen under natural condition, and second is exponential growth curve, which is seen under unrealistic ideal condition, and then last will be population interaction. These 2 topics I will teach you in my next class. For today we come to the end of a simple, sweet and crisp lecture, as I always say. Thank you for watching me. See you in the next class. Bye bye everyone. Take care.